Hey girl, welcome to Vlogmas day 18. So in today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about stay-at-home mom groups and why I'm pretty sure I'm about to leave all the ones that I'm in. So when I first became a stay-at-home mom and was looking for support and encouragement and maybe even tips and help or whatever, ideas, I started joining Facebook groups about being a stay-at-home mom, thinking like, of course, this would be a place where we can kind of ask questions that we don't know the answers to, or be able to get some support when we're feeling a certain way or feeling unsure or not confident as a mom. And in some ways, that is what it is in theory. However, I feel like with a lot of these groups, they're not really regulated. So what ends up happening is, number one, it comes off like a bunch of complaining about our partners and what they're not doing. And then the other women are like, you need to leave your marriage. Anyways. And the other thing is, it ends up being less about, and maybe this is just my perception of it and what I take away. It becomes less about like sharing, I had a rough day today, this is what happened, and getting encouragement, but more of like a woe is me kind of story. And I'm sorry if this offends somebody, if you're in groups and you share a bunch of your life and you feel like it's helpful for you. But for me, it just comes off very like victimized, very I have no power. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that the early stages of staying at home, the early stages of having kids, but also staying at home with those kids is very challenging. But I don't think that I've ever wanted to be in that state. As in, if anything, I'm going to share it as in, how can you help me figure out how to get out of this? Or what did you do to get out of this? Or how did you help yourself feel better when the times were rough? And again, I know that some things are not fun. I know that some things are hard in life in general, but I feel like my idea of being at home, maybe because it wasn't something that I imagined, I didn't have expectations. I think I could objectively look at it and know that the experience was challenging, but I don't think I wanted pity. I kind of would want either encouragement, or I would want some help with how you helped yourself get out of that situation, if that makes sense. The other thing for me that is really annoying in general, like even in person, is you asking a question that you don't want the answer to. So one of the moms the other day, and I just really feel like this sent me, I'm like, yeah. One of the moms, and let me just prepare you, this is kind of a rant video. Like, I just feel like this showed up in my timeline and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So she was asking, she's basically saying she was in a better place as far as like feeling comfortable with staying at home, feeling like she could start dressing up again. And she said she's kind of like a person that doesn't really dress up a lot. And so she was like, she had posted some pictures of herself and then kind of said, style me, moms, or something like that. And so I was like, oh, what a cute question. Like, you know, you might be a little bit unsure about how to style yourself, even though I feel like from our video the other day, I feel like we need to trust ourselves more and put on what we think looks good. But anyways, so I went to see like what people were saying. Somebody was like, oh, you can shop at this place. And she was like, I only shop at this place. And then someone else was like, oh, you would look really good in rompers. I wear a lot of rompers. I'm too tall for rompers. This is the girl that asked the question responding to all the people. Somebody else went to Pinterest. They were like, the other day I found on Pinterest this graphic where you can pick 3 styles that you like, and then you would kind of create your style from there. I don't even know what 3 styles I like. I just think that the idea of somebody asking a question means that they are unsure. You asked for the women to style you and then proceeded to shut down every suggestion that was given to you. And I think that we have to be careful about this, even for ourselves. Number one, before I'm asking a question, I need to think about whether or not I really don't know the answer, whether or not I really need an answer. Number one. Number two, if I am not sure, granted, there might be things that don't work for me or whatever, but my response to the person that I have asked for the question is going to be, thanks so much. I'll consider that. Or thank you so much for your input or something. I'm not about to shut down responses that people have given to me from me asking them. And I also need to be open to any of the options. Like, okay, if they're like saying something that's unsafe, okay, I'm not doing that. They should know I'm not doing that, but even if they don't, I know I'm not doing that. I don't have to tell them that. The other thing is, if I am not going to be open to the answers that people give, I'm just not going to ask the question. Even the other day, in this mom group that I'm in, one of the moms was like, I have a son, you know, my son or her daughter, whoever, was having reflux issues. What have you guys done to, what's something that you guys did that worked for you? And so I go, you know, I'm kind of like an extremist, but I completely cut out dairy, and that really seemed to help my kids. She said, I used a dairy-free formula and it still was happening. Granted, I think she said non-dairy. And from what I understand, non-dairy and dairy-free are two different things. Either way, then she ends with, and I love cheese. Thanks for sharing. But also, I feel like if I'm asking a question, I'm not shutting down people's answers because I asked it. So I either need to be open to hear the answers, or I don't need to be open to hear the answer. Anyways, like I said, this was kind of a rant, but I would love to know from you guys if you're in those Facebook groups. And what I would really love to know to make this more of a productive conversation and less of a ranty conversation. I mean, it was still a rant. The rant has happened. It's commenced. But what have you guys found a group on Facebook that has stay-at-home moms that are not complaining about their husband, complaining about their kids, complaining about their life, asking questions that they're like, have you found one that's actually supportive, that actually helps you, that's actually an encouraging place to be, where you can kind of be inspired to look ahead to when you're out of the foggy newborn phase or whatever the case may be? Please, 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 if you have a group like that you're in on Facebook or that you run on Facebook, please let me know, because I would love to be in it. Thanks so much for watching today's rant video, and I'll see you tomorrow, girl. Bye.